Nigerian Professional Football League has entered match day 3, and so a lot of matches have been played on Wednesday. Well, 2 matches will be played today in the Nigerian Professional Football League match day 3. Katsina versus Kano Pillars. We'll be bringing to you those matches on the show. 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Joining me in the studio to my far left-hand side is Olawale Peters, who will be running the show with me in this hour. Good to have you.
Good to be back to the studio this afternoon, Adeni.
Good one there. And Nonso Arinzechi, good one. Let's talk some sport.
Yeah, there's no better time to talk sport than now.
Good one there. Now, as I said earlier, Nigerian match day 3 matches that will be coming up today. 2 matches will be coming up. Let's quickly look at those matches. Katsina versus Kano Pillars is a man that a lot of people want to see. Coach Salisu Yusuf, what does he have to offer? The Mesugida boys will be traveling to play against Katsina United. Can Katsina do the business? It is very possible. Niger Tornadoes against Abia Warriors. Imam Amapakabo will also travel to play against Niger Tornadoes. Who will win that game in these matches? Now, looking at the 2 matches that is slated for today, Katsina Kano Pillars.
Yeah, I think Kano Pillars are connected to win because they lost their first 2 games. They need to get all 3 points at least to start the season. Katsina as well, they're not pushover. They've got 3 points as well. They won the second game in the competition. So, and you know, Salisu Yusuf, he just returned back to the club where he won so many laurels when Kano Pillars were at the top of the echelon of Nigerian football. And that's the plan, to get them back playing winning leagues, playing in the continent, and do well in the continent as well. So, I want to go with Salisu Yusuf on this one. I think to pick up their first point this season, to get all 3 points, because I think Kano Pillars have got a lot of firepower. You can't have. I look at the score of Kano Pillars and how they're losing games, and it's shocking because they've got some Mika Nyangwa is in the team, top scorer for them last season. They've got Rabiu Ali Pele, ever young captain and skipper of the side. Just look at how well they played at the Presidential Cup here in Abuja a few weeks back. So I think it's just a purple part. They will do so well. I think they'll get 3 points in this encounter.
Okay, now looking at what Imam Amapakabo has been doing with Abia Warriors, when everybody wrote them off that they were not going to make it last season, he scaled through with that team, and they'll be playing against Niger Tornadoes today over there. Well, you just have to give it up to Niger Tornadoes also. They know what it takes to play in the NPFL as it is right now. Looking at this particular match, Niger Tornadoes, Abia Warriors.
Imama, after losing to Eyimba in the first game of the season, no shame to that. When you lose to Eyimba, you just raise your hands in the air and say you're beating by a better team. But Imama, I can say Imama plays enticing football, and he doesn't know which is home or away. He goes away, he plays so well, he stays away, he plays so well. He will lose some games on the road, I accept that, but watching the team play is one of the teams you watch, and you can pay money to go watch their games. Niger Tornadoes are, like you said, they blow hot and cold, but the home advantage is massive. You know, when you play at home, even though you don't play well, you could play smash and grab and defend so well. With the crowd backing you, you can get all 3 points. But I still want to go the away route again today with Mama. I think the quality he's shown down the years in the MPF, and the quality he's got in his team. Not forgetting this man Pius, who scored, and Paul Sampson, who scored that winner the last time out when they played. I think they've got enough firepower to win the game.
Now, transferring away from MPFL matches, let me talk to Olawale Peters concerning this particular topic. We've been on it for a while, where AFCON 2021, or AFCON as a continental cup, has been underrated by the Europeans, in fact FIFA. We can see almost all the other federations didn't see, they are not giving that much respect to CAF competition, especially talking about the African Cup of Nations coming up in Cameroon. A lot of issues that actually went with this before CAF stood its ground that no, this event must come up. And right now, a former player of Arsenal, a star, a legend in his own right, actually stated via a video clip that African is under racism because of the fact that you can never ask an English player, will you go and play in Euros? Just the way journalists asked Sebastian Hola of Cote d'Ivoire that will he play in Africa. He said he loved the fact that he stood his ground by telling them, yes, I will go. He also praised the Crystal Palace manager, Vieira, for standing by Africa, that AFCON should be more respected. Your view?
Okay, it's very unfortunate that the 4th most expensive trophy in the world, that's AFCON, it's not being respected. However, is it their fault or our fault? It depends on the way you paint or you call your house that people will respect it. So let's look at the players to start with. Are the players doing the right thing when it's come to Nations Cup? AFCON? No. Most of them, they fake injury. Is it Algeria? That we had a player, when they're supposed to play a friendly match, that he faked injury in June. And based on that, it was that's the egg of Chelsea. It was dropped. How many coaches in Africa will have that authority over the players? That's number one. Then number two, if the current CAF chairman that we have now is what we've been having before, probably would have been respected, different, yes, of South Africa. Because look at the way he stood his ground.
He even went to Cameroon.
He went to Cameroon to inspect and tell the whole world that we are ready, we are not postponing it. If that is what we've been having before, probably we will not be in the situation that we are right now. And I think I agree with Wright with his own statement also. Can you ask any European player that will you be going
to play
in Euro, or South American that are you going to play in Copa America? I think we have to really stop this. Then we have to do a lot when it comes to brand awareness for AFCON. We need to do a lot of awareness when it comes to the AFCON, so that they too, they will respect us for whom we are. The reason why they are really fighting it hard not to release some players is because they know the impact it will have on them. Look at the Watford coach saying that he got the mail for Emmanuel Dennis late. He may likely not release him. And he told him that, no, I have to be there. We have someone like Osimhen who declared himself fit
just to
even before the AFCON, that I'm ready to. So if we have players that are doing that, I think they too will respect us for whom we are. But in a situation whereby we are not respecting ourselves, we are selling ourselves so cheap to the outsiders, definitely that's what they will do. I think it is high time that the continent of Africa the heritage of football in Africa needs to be protected. Sincerely, I think we need to make that statement and make it loud. How many countries are playing in AFCON? 24. How many are playing in Copa America? And if you see the awareness they are giving the Copa America, you think they are playing the semi-World Cup. So we Africans, we need to come out together
and package
our own, do more awareness, and let them know that when it is time for AFCON, there's no even issue of I'm going to release a player or I will not release a player. That needs to be done. But with the current CAF president, what he's doing now, I give it to him. He's doing a very fantastic job. Let him keep doing it. If we continue like this, I'm sure the next AFCON that will be played, the issue we had this time, we're not going to have it.
Well, we've been talking concerning AFCON being undirected, coming from Ian Wright, a former Arsenal star, well, a legend on his own right. You just have to appreciate what he has said. Let's listen to what Ian says concerning AFCON.
How you doing, everybody? Just got a little something on my chest. I got to ask some people out there. Is there ever a tournament more disrespected than the African Cup of Nations? There's no greater honour, none, as a sports person, than representing your country. The coverage is completely tinged with racism, completely tinged. We played our Euros across 10 countries in the middle of a pandemic, and there's no issue at all. But Cameroon, a single country hosting a tournament, is a problem. You're getting journalists asking players, players getting asked if they will be honouring the call-ups for their national teams, if they will be honouring. Imagine if that was an English player representing the Three Lions. Have you ever heard anybody asking an English player if will he be honouring the call-up? Can you imagine the furore? Loads of the best players in Europe right now are African. And if we love them at club level, why can't we love them at international level like their counterparts from across the globe? Why can't we? Why is this tournament constantly getting so much flack? I've got to say shout out to the countries that have qualified, the players like Sebastian Haller, who are taking a stand against the media backlash. The media, plus Patrick Vieira. Patrick Vieira coming out and speaking about this. And this is, again, why it's important that you do have a black manager who can let people understand where his roots are and how important this tournament is for African people. The shaming has gone on for too long. I just want to wish Cameroon all the success with hosting this tournament. And like I say to the players, all the very, very best to you and the fans.
Yeah, right there, actually justifying the fact that AFCON is a particular competition that must be respected. I think I really appreciate the fact that he came out to say this.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's good that we see people speak out, people who has played the game, who understand the game, especially players with African origin, the likes of Patrick Vieira, which he did commend, coming out to defend. He said the AFCON is important. It's very important. As important as the Euros, you know. If like I said some few days when I was here, if the Euros can hold in different cities when the COVID-19 was rising, if Brazil, the hub of COVID-19, could host the Copa America, if the South Asian tournament could go on without any fracas, then why can't our own AFCON hold? This is the biggest footballing event in Africa. I think, like you said, if we can get ourselves loose from this FIFA entanglement, we get ourselves into where FIFA can come and say the AFCON is a problem, let's shift it to September, November. We can stand on our own and do our own AFCON to suit our own self, suit our weather, to suit our style, to suit our culture, then we can make it happen. I think because we too much over-reliance on FIFA, running FIFA for bailouts, FIFA giving us fundings, and we can't run our sports, our football ourselves. And this is why we have a lot of interference, whether the AFCON should go, whether it should be postponed or should be cancelled. Like you said, I love the stance of Patrick Motsepe. I love the stance of the FA in Cameroon. That is somewhere to feel. The AFCON would go on, and the glitz and the glamour would shine bright in Cameroon.
Okay, I also expected some of the African stars, like Didier Drogba, all of them also to have
to stand and
speak out, not waiting for the European players to be the one to speak on our behalf. The likes of
like George Weah,
we expected him to come out.
Yes, Okocha.
We expected them also to come out before now and make a statement that John Fashanu, we expected all the stars to come out to even form, if possible, an association or a group to let the world know that this is Africa. This is a continent that needs to be respected. The heritage of football in Africa needs to be respected. And if we don't respect it ourselves, nobody will respect it for us. So them coming to speak on our behalf, seriously, I think it's a good thing. I love the way they did, but we should have done better than that.
By speaking for ourselves,
not allowing them to be the one
to open our eyes.
Now, it is now in the history, in the book, that they spoke for us.
What a way to go. Well, it's so painful. We just hope that we get it right. All African stars, like Elijah Diop, all these guys need to come out and speak for African football because it is our heritage. It must be respected and not underrated, according to Ian Wright there. Now, let's talk about our own. Nigerian Football Federation came out with a communique issued after the executive committee had a meeting virtually that 13 billion naira will be the amount they're proposing for 2022 football. Super Eagles, Super Falcons, all the underage football and all that. 13 billion. For 2021 is 5 billion. 2020 was 1.5 billion. Now it's 13 billion, and that particular proposition coming from NFF is that we just have to look at it. 13 billion for 2022.
I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned about the figure. I'm going to find out how NFF are going to get this money. Are they going to rely solely on government to fund them? Or are they going to go out and look for sponsors, left, right, and center to sponsor? Because, like you said, we talked about 5 billion that was used last year. Majority of the funds came from government. You ask us, what is the marketing department of the NFF doing? Don't private sector want to? This is the biggest brand in Nigeria. The biggest brand in football in Nigeria is the NFF. They are the house, like we call it the glass house. People want to associate with sports. They want to associate with football. What have they done so far to get fundings for? Look at the leagues in Europe, the FA in England, the FA in Germany. They run themselves. They don't rely on government. They get returns from their sponsors. They run the league, and they are independent. I don't know why the NFF will scream when the government want to ask what do you use the money for. They scream, "Oh, don't interfere into football." But when they need funds, they run back to federal government for funding. Even if they put 60 billion and they've got sponsors to churn out that amount of money to take care of their activities, fine. My problem is Where would the majority of this funding come from?
Well, just lately, let me throw this one to you. Lately, they got some sponsors, 2 sponsors. One actually stands for the insuring of the Super Eagles, and I think Super Falcons too.
Yeah.
And the other one, so they got 2 sponsors now. So the money will be at least those sponsors. The money gotten from those sponsors is
exactly.
13 billion.
Exactly.
Okay, the issue is accountability to start with. Now, how can you prepare a budget from 1.5 billion to 5 billion? Now we are jumping to 13 billion.
Yeah.
So have you seen what you've done with the 5 billion? Then from this 13 billion, how much are you going to generate internally as an organization? From the matches that they are playing at the NPFL, how much are you going to get from there? Yes, how much are you going to get from there? That's number one. So we need accountability. If they can come out and tell us that they need 13 billion, they should be able to tell us also the way they run the affairs of NFF, to start with, how they are appointing a coach, how much do you want to pay for the coach, if you are going for AFCON, how many officials are going for the AFCON, what are the expenses that will be paid, because this, like I said, this is our money. They are getting this money from the federal government. The federal government are getting the money from taxpayers, from the citizen, the taxpayers, people like me and you. But when it comes to we asking them questions, they run to FIFA. We are interfering. When it comes to money, they come to us to collect money. No. And I think it is also high time for to remove the politicians that we have inside this glass house and replace them with football lovers, football administration. The likes of Shegun Odegbami, they've done it before. They did it, but they shouldn't just go back, sit back and watch what we love most in this country in terms of sport to be running the way they are running it. They are running it more like politics, sincerely. This is not a football administration. You want to use 13 billion for what? For?
Yes.
Is there an attachment to this statement that the 13 billion, this is what you want to spend it for, this is what you want to use it for?
Okay, maybe I should be their mouthpiece now. Maybe their spokesman now. Okay. I expect at least Jose Pizarro's salary will be there. I'm sure he will have some assistance. The Super Eagles logistics, any match they want to play. Remember, World Cup is coming next year. So it's part of it. Going to Qatar, camping the AFCON also, and all that. AFCON will be there. Super Falcons are also there.
Did you see the finance?
I'm trying to be their spokesman so that you can see where the money...
Being their spokesman now, there's nothing like infrastructure, facility development. So the only thing that you and your NFF
all these are coming in because we may not be able to outline it for you instantly, but we're letting you know that.
But come on, they did release their financial statement yesterday after the communique as well. I did go through the financial statement, a bit of discrepancies here and there, but it is what it is. Like I said, Nigerians will put in 30 billion in football if they are sure that the value of 30 billion will reflect on the sport. Nigerians love football. I think the biggest sport in Nigeria is football. Everybody wants to assume with the Super Falcons, Super Eagles. But like I said, if we cannot see the value of 13 billion in our football, nobody will put the money in. It's garbage in, garbage out.
Now, my question is, out of this 13 billion, how much is actually going to the grassroots football development? Although the 10-year plan by the minister is being announced, so we are looking for, out of the 13 billion, let's wait, how much will be going to development of football? In Nigeria from the grassroots? These are the questions that NFF need to answer.
They will let some of the pitches to the ministry because now we have an adopted pitch campaign where different
individuals have to come in.
So come on, I keep saying.
Imagine that stadium, the MK Abiola Stadium. It was Alhaji Dangote that took over. The one in Lagos was done by Kensington. Good.
And then have you seen the Salami Stadium that was renovated?
No, let's not go there. Let's not go there. We saw that.
Right?
Let's not go there. That stadium. If maybe I'm going to take it up as I'm still investigating something. I'm trying to know really
how did it
really what happened. Was it because of that day that there's a particular, maybe there's a machine that poured dust on that
on the grass?
Even the day they went to commission the place, it rained and it rained that day, and
the sink of the stadium fell.
That is the pitch
that
they claimed that they spent over 5 billion to renovate.
Almost half of the budget. NFF
half of the budget. That is what they use to.
See, you see now, if you are even look at that's your state. That's the I don't know the committee set up to refurbish the stadium. If 5 billion could go for that stadium, come on, please leave my NFF alone.
So
I really want to
appreciate
you. Let's go with our 13 billion. Now let's quickly look at the EPL matches that will be coming up today. We just have to leave some Nigerian story. If not, we will leave the studio quickly. EPL matches will be coming up. We just have to look at the matches that will also be coming up in the EPL. Well, it's just a match between Manchester United, against Burnley. It's just a match. Man United against Burnley for tonight.
Okay, I think the Manchester United, the formation, the style that they are using right now, they need to review
it's alien, yeah.
The 4-2-2 formation they are using, the players are tired already. They are complaining that the intensity during the training alone is wearing them out. Then talk less of, that's why you saw what happened that day, the last match with Newcastle, still Ronaldo and Bruno, they are more like having an altercation. They were complaining bitterly. So they need to look into that to be able to, if not, what we saw against Newcastle, we're going to see the same thing tonight.
I think Man United will win. They will have just enough. The firepower is too much. Greenwood, Rashford, Ronaldo, Cavani. It will be too much for this Burnley team. But like you said,
but you know how stubborn Burnley can actually
be. They can be. They can frustrate you. They can cause you pain on their own day. But I think Man United will have just enough. They're playing at home. The fans behind them.
What if today is their day?
We'll wait and see. But, like
I hope you're not trying to make Man U fans happy.
Come on, My fans needs to change that formation. It's terrible.
Why are you pointing at it? If it's not a Man U.
I'm not trying to bring what he said. 4-2-2-2. It's alien. This is the first coach trying that in the Premier League. I don't think it will work in the German Bundesliga. It's totally alien to the Premier League.
Ragnick, I think he's 62 years old. So you can expect that from. I hope Jose Pizarro is not bringing that kind of style to Nigerian Super Eagles.
Okay, now, are you expecting something different?
I'm expecting
from
a digitized football.
Digitized football from an analog coach.
Look at this for me. If Mourinho brought him to the team, as touted by Mourinho, and Mourinho plays a defensive, pragmatic kind of football, Nigeria should brace up for a defensive, pragmatic type of football. That's why I'm saying
his own style of his own formation is 5-4-1.
Yeah,
that Jose Pizarro.
Pragmatic, very pragmatic.
5-4-1.
Defensive.
And people are saying that it's Jose Mourinho that recommended him. Rumor has it also that it was Wenger that recommended Gernot Roy.
Yeah.
So what did we achieve? What did we achieve? What has Mourinho? If Mourinho needs wants to give him a job,
if he wants a job, we'll give it to him. Yes.
No, he married from Angola, right? Yeah, that's Mourinho.
Yes.
He should take him to Angola and recommend him to the Angola football. Let them employ him. Why Nigerian? And what has Mourinho achieved when it's come to the country football?
I think if you want to give Mourinho the job, why not give Mourinho the job and not who Mourinho is?
Which job? Nigerian coach or African?
Nigerian coach.
Good one there. We've been having this little banter in the studio talking about Nigerian football and also Jose Pizarro. As we've taken the story earlier, it has been confirmed as the manager of Nigerian Super Eagles. We hope that his observation at the AFCON will bring a good result by the time it takes over proper for that particular team. Wishing them all the best. Thanks for joining me on the show, Olawale Peters. Thank you very much.
It's always my pleasure to be here, Adeni.
And Nonso Arinzechi, good one there. Thank you for also joining.
It's such a rare gym. Thank you very much.
Well, as we always tell you, that sport is fitness and business. Always log on to all our social media platforms to watch Trust TV 360 Sport. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Thanks for watching once again.